December 30th, 2025. Today in Giant Eagle, up on the strip in Belden, North Canton. You know, good and evil around me. My son, John, before the case started, there was lights flashing above the house. And I called him, I said, John, there's lights, they're everywhere. He said, Mom, they're angels. I said, angels? He said, they're fighting over your soul. I said, John, I don't mean enough to anyone. He said, Mom, you don't realize it's angels and they're fighting over your soul. I said, John, I don't mean enough to anyone. He said, you just don't realize. Now, if you look at the case, good and evil fighting back and forth. You know, some of the investigators showed up when I had told that story, were Karen's angels. That's how they referred to themselves. Domestic terrorism is the definition of it under FBI is a group of people to further their own ideology, that's their own beliefs, with political or religious backing, with threats or harm to human life against the U.S. constitutional laws. Where investigators said, we all know it's a domestic terrorism group doing this. I Googled yesterday, if a federal agent aids and abets a domestic terrorism group, it's life and federal. And it could even be a death penalty. If he financially supports them, same thing. See, that's where Lighthouse can never get a dime. None of these people can. They can never get a dime. That agent can't help them. Where I was in Giant Eagle today, good and bad. They were talking about somebody trying to make sure that agent goes to jail for this. Other guys walking by me in the register. The reason why that agent didn't want her to say anything is so they could get away with it. He could help them get money. There was some other idiot in there. I asked around, nobody knew about this case. Liar. You know what you are, a crazy call person or a drug dealer. It's an FBI case. U.S. Marshals in Canton even work it. My friend Keith went down and talked to him, met one of the guys they met off the case. Saved his life. So, liar. Another lady's on the phone with someone we all know. Her brother worked for the government and she knows what spyware is. Some other guy's like, there's something wrong with her. Her sitting around telling us all about what's going on. You know what? Fuck you. My brother-in-law, Craig Davis, died March 26, 1990, working for the government. He worked under Dick Cheney. He was a private consultant for the FBI, unrestricted, did war, weapons, spyware, and traveled the world. He went undercover and traveled the world and was gone 30 to 45 days. You know what he told us? I go into foreign countries. It's very poor, very beautiful, and I take candy for the poor children. And then the other part, that he's a private consultant for the FBI. Unrestricted, does war, weapons, spyware. You know, he told me before he died, he said, a monitor's a monitor. Don't ever forget this, Karen. We didn't call anything monitors back then. He looked at the TV. Definitely didn't call TVs that. He said, don't ever forget the government can see you through the TV if they want to. He talked about satellites looking down and could see what you were cooking on your grill if they wanted to. We're talking 1980, late 80s. Things that we know they can do now, he talked about 40 years ago, 35 years ago. He was a brilliant, handsome, tall man. Geeky as hell. Nerdy as hell. But he was so sweet and so kind. Once you talk to him for a minute, you just overlooked it. Our nation lost a wonderful employee for the government when he died. He almost died 3 or 4 times before he did die in a weird traffic accident of a gravel truck coming around the road and on the third car back just turning over on his. He had almost been killed several times. He told me my one boss is a spook. I said, a spook? And I was really young. I started laughing. He said, a ghost. I said, a ghost? He said, he's so far up in the government, he no longer exists on paperwork. These people better thank God he's not alive. His friends were FBI headquarters. He would have crushed you. Realize that.